Welcome to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston. Thank y'all so much for joining us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. That's right. It's been quite the ride this 2020, I tell you what, especially this winter time frame. Like I said, so much has been happening, but I want to stay grounded, and I stay grounded by talking to individuals in my network that have been remained grounded during this COVID period and beyond, and still doing work to help humanity. So today we have a very, that's 5 Aries for episode 5, special guest, Wasim Momin, UT alumni, RN, the creator of the Realist RN podcast with his lovely wife, as well as the nonprofit organization, The Next Purpose. That's right, we're going to have Wasim in just a bit. He'll be in the studios and pretty pumped and excited to have him. He is a childhood friend, so we'll get to that in just a little bit of time. And since we are here talking to someone from the healthcare field, I figured why not discuss some healthcare facts, some interesting ones. And I have to say, shout out to all of the healthcare folks out there in the world, especially my lovely wife. So I'm very happy to have met her, as well as every single person who's done so much for humanity by saving humanity with their healthcare knowledge and their efforts, so on and so forth. Pretty pumped, like I said. And so I got some fun facts. These are some fun facts. Fun health facts, right? Here we go. Titled, Health is Wealth. That's when you zoom in, you zoom out, get a bunch of health is wealth signs everywhere. That's right. This is for my post-production team. Like I said, here's a fun one. This is an interesting fact. I want to make sure everybody understands this very clearly. And maybe you can put up signs in your pool side or something so little Timmy doesn't have to do what he does every time he visits your pool, which is, of course, peeing in a pool. Peeing in a pool is dangerous for your heart. Combining urine and chlorine can create dangerous chemicals when combined, of course, with other byproducts, such as nitrosamines, and can even cause cancer. A lot of different scientific experiments have been done with this. And again, so the next time little Timmy comes over and he wants to swim in your pool, just put a little sign that says simply that right there. And that should be able to scare the heck out of him, and hopefully not him peeing in the pool. So we have to worry about that cleanup later. Another fun fact about health is, of course, anxiety can make bad smells even worse. That's right, you heard right. In a scientific study, the Journal of Neuroscience exposed subjects to anxiety-induced images like car accidents and war. Researchers found that neutral scents became unpleasant and bad smells became even worse. So fellas, when you're out, driving in your car with your significant others, do not mention anything about the accident across the freeway when you have to pass gas. Just pull the window down and be like, honey, look, and then just pass the gas and you'll be fine. Trust me, this works all the time. From someone I know that told me, not me. My wife's probably at home just freaking out. Like, are you serious? You told him about that time? Don't worry about it. Another fun fact as well is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but men are more forgetful than women, which is something I was really set back on. The Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology hypothesized back in 2015, about 5 years ago, that this could be due to the varying brain structures of men and women, specifically the part of the brain that holds all the memories, right? So this is a fun fact that you can always use whenever, let's just say you forget to throw out the trash, or you even forgot about getting a decorator, or even a wedding planner. And that's right, I'm wedding planning still, so that's why I'm just constantly remembering all the things that I forgot to do this past week. Holy smokes, she's gonna kill me. No, we'll be all right. We're good on that. But seriously, this is something that I think if you find online, just the journal that says this, you can always throw this in your significant other's faces when you forget to do anything at all. But honey, men usually forget things more than women. Oh, it's just me and my man brain. Oh, take the bullet. It's worth that rather than the yelling that comes after the initial impact. Let's see, another one. Red meat makes body odor worse. The journal Chemical Senses said that the participants who refrained from eating red meat were generally perceived as smelling more pleasant and less intense, and apparently overall more attractive. I just don't know if I agree, but it kind of sounds like someone's never been to a hot yoga session. Seriously. Vegans and vegetarians everywhere, everyone smells just as bad. I'm telling you right now. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm a carnivore, and I've been told I smell very pleasant, so I think I'm all right on that front. Let's see. Here goes another one. Humans are the only animals with chins. That's right. With chins. I gotta say, I'm an example of some being well endowed with more than one. So I got a couple chins here going. But anyways, you can't see it because of the chin strap, baby. Look at this beard. This beard takes time, and that's a lot of main reasons why a lot of bigger individuals end up having facial hair to cover up the second chin. I'm speaking from my actual own perspective. So guys, don't hate me. It's like the makeup for the guy, right? So ladies usually wear makeup to conceal or hide different parts of their face they're not too comfortable with. For fellas, it's usually the second chin. That's right. I'm giving away a lot of secrets. So finally, riding a roller coaster can help you pass a kidney stone. This is an interesting one. After multiple people reported passing kidney stones while riding the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad ride, back in 2016, the Michigan State University team decided to investigate what this phenomenon was all about. Studies show that 64% of the kidney stones were passed when folks were sitting in the back of the ride. So there's a bunch of, in quotes, it's rough and quick with some twists and turns, but no upside down or inverted moments overall. That's what she said. What's that? I can't make that's what she said jokes because I'm married now. Are you kidding? Well then, talk about censorship. But that was pretty much the list of health is wealth facts from yours truly, Anil Sohani, Late Night Vibes. And speaking of health is wealth, we're going to have RN and my dear friend, and of course, the creator of the Realist RN podcast and the nonprofit organization, The Next Purpose, Wasim Momin, in studios in just a bit. Sit tight. We'll be back with more Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month, 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month, and first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month, all for 39-month lease with just $1 down. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Amazing things for you.
59 और वेस्ट बेलफोर्ड पर है नुक्कड़ ढाबा, जहां के मशहूर जमाना बॉम्बे तंदूरी चिकन, पहाड़ी बोटी, चिकन चटपटा और बटर चिकन तो आप जानते ही होंगे। अगर आप बॉम्बे चाइनीज खाना आप पसंद करते हैं तो जरूर उनके चिकन लॉलीपॉप और चिकन चिली ट्राई करिएगा। और एनटीवी ह्यूस्टन का नाम लेने पर स्पेशल है $1.99 में कॉर्न सूप। सुबह 8 से लेकर रात के 2 बजे तक नुक्कड़ ढाबा आपकी खिदमत के लिए खुला होता है। For takeout and other inquiries, call 281-575-1178 at the corner of West Belfort and 59, Nukkad Dhaba.
बिजनेस का काम हो या फैमिली वेकेशन, कॉनकॉर्ड ट्रैवल है आपका रिलायबल ट्रैवल पार्टनर। फ्लाइट्स, होटल्स और ट्रैवल बुकिंग्स पे बेस्ट डील्स पाने के लिए कॉन्टैक्ट अस ऑन 713-219-1199 और ईमेल अस at reservations@concordtravelhouston.com or visit us at 2245 Texas Drive, Suite 300, Sugarland, Texas 77479. concordtravelhouston.com.
Being diagnosed with a scary sounding disease can be frightening. Imagine what it's like for your child.
There are over
over 7,000 rare diseases around the world affecting children. Join me, Jessica Hatch, along with leading experts to help break down medical lingo, explain why and what their little bodies are feeling. Real faces, real stories, and expert advice. And you can watch us on the biggest South Asian TV network in North America, NTV Houston.
Welcome back to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston. Thank y'all so much for joining us for segment 2 of the very, 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 very special guest in the studio, UT alumni, RN in Texas, but working across the world with his nonprofit organization, The Next Purpose, as well as the podcast, The Realist RN. My childhood friend and longtime amigo of this picture right here. That's right. It's going down. Thank y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And here comes the guest, Wasim Momin. Ladies and gentlemen, come on down. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
Man, so much to list. I didn't even know where the list kept going on and on. How, I gotta say, who, what, when, where, how, and why. And did I mention how?
Yeah.
Are you able to do all this? And just congratulations on getting married less than a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely. A year comes by quick, man, especially around these times.
Time flies, man. I'm telling you, I'm on that same verge of, legally married, the nikah coming up and all this stuff happening. So, so much to ask you. I'm sure I'll probably ask you questions off the air because, a lot of questions I think are meant to be on and off. So we'll stick to the on air. But tell me, bro, the next purpose. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. Working in Nepal and working with so many volunteers. What inspired you to go this route and create something such as this amazing nonprofit?
So actually, I got my start in 2015 when the Nepali earthquakes happened.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I really didn't know why, but I was drawn to it, and I really wanted to be in the country. And I spent 2 to 3 weeks researching, trying to get an opportunity to go out there, and had the worst time trying to find somebody to take me.
Really?
Like you would imagine, like I'm a nurse,
Okay.
like wanting to go. They need medical attention, and nobody cares for me. Like my resume didn't stick out. Nobody got calls. Never got any feedback. Nothing.
What do you mean when you say nobody? Like they just when you tried to go just as a nurse,
Right.
creating another program that was
No,
already there?
I just wanted to join somebody else's mission.
Okay.
And nobody cared. Like got no response.
Wow.
And that kind of bothered me a little bit. Not because I wasn't valuable to them, but because I realized that it shouldn't be this difficult. There's only a finite amount of people that want to do good, and it shouldn't be this hard. I actually ended up finding an organization that accepted me. So I went. Yeah. But after, I wanted to create a platform where people had an easier time getting those opportunities to help. And you'd be surprised, man. There's so many people out there that want to do good, but sometimes you just get stuck on a detour and don't really find out.
I bet. Yeah, no, there's so many different organizations. It's kind of difficult to kind of maneuver and figure out what best fits you. So it's pretty cool that you're able to find a group and, go out and actually create your own mission.
Absolutely.
And so what was that process like? So what made you want to just, I understand that there was nothing there before, but it's just kind of such a strong thing, like a bold thing to do, to just, wrap up with the mission and be like, you know what, I think I'm going to start one of my own. And they're like, hey, what about our mission? What do we do with ours?
Right. No, I mean, it's really just getting out there and doing it. And I'll admit, in the beginning, I had no idea. I had no idea where to start, how to start. I made a lot of mistakes.
Right.
But I knew what I wanted to do, and I just stuck with it. And here we are today, and we're still making mistakes. There's no finite process with it. There's no perfect process, but here we are now, 5 to 6 years later, doing some really good things. And if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have still probably been applying to those organizations that didn't really care about me. So
yeah,
it's definitely humbling. It's been a humbling process. Yeah,
for sure. Congratulations on the success so far.
Thank you. Yeah.
I gotta say, a lot of people might not know this because, of course, everyone kind of keeps their distance with social media sometimes, especially since that social dilemma thing that happened. The whole, so I know not too many, you don't really open up too much about your personal stuff, but we've known each other for, I don't know, over 15, 20 years now.
Easy.
And growing up, I remember, before I was as outspoken as I am today, in our classrooms in our Sunday school, which we had Saturdays, with Saturday school, religious classes. And those days, I recollect you being somewhat of the class clown in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of making everybody kind of laugh. And,
I think that was my coping mechanism more than anything.
Really?
Because I disliked what I was doing.
Okay.
So I was like, how do we make this more fun?
Yeah. So that's why, in I guess respects to that, childhood, mindset we used to have of being silly. Right. I like to keep that little silly factor and play a little Would You Rather if you'd entertain me. Yeah,
let's do it.
So Would You Rather, and a bunch of explosions and a whole bunch of zoom-ins on my face and his face, and we'll do that right now. So let's play Would You Rather. Question number 1: Would you rather be a high school teacher or a clown? I emphasize on a clown because of the classroom clown emphasis. So I wonder.
Definitely a clown.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's much more variability and unexpectedness.
Yeah?
I'd take the clown.
Clown. All right, over high school student. That's so crazy because when I saw you do this new endeavor, I was like, man, that classroom clown is no longer. This guy's like doing things. He's changing people's lives. This is amazing. Okay, I'm glad that you still got that little silly factor.
Absolutely.
And I got to say, if it wasn't for you having that, the classrooms would have been pretty boring, and I don't think I would have been as entertained as I was. So I got to say thank you. My inner child thanks your inner child.
Yeah, it's mutual, man.
For sure. No doubt. That's what's up. And so now tell me about this podcast. You titled it The Realist RN, right? So, with you being a nurse, and now, of course, your wife is also a nurse?
Yes, yeah.
Correct. So was this like, whose idea was it? Was it the wife situation? Like, honey, we need to do a podcast. Okay, sweetie. I'm trying to take notes mentally as, about to prepare into, becoming a husband for life kind of thing.
Right.
So I wonder, is this like a husband-wife situation, or was it like, let's get together and just make something cool? Or, you could be honest.
It was mutual. I think the both of us had kind of an aspiration to teach and educate. And we said, what platform allows you to do that to the masses? And that's social media, man.
Yeah.
You can your circle is only so big, especially with COVID. It's only getting smaller. So how do you reach the largest number of audience members, and how do you get your word out there? Yeah. And it's something we were doing at work anyway, and we were still getting paid what we're getting paid and teaching everyone around the hospital. Right. So how do you do something that kind of affects a bigger picture, and putting that information? But definitely, it was a mutual endeavor.
Nice. So what do you plan on doing with it? Because I know a lot of people out there have made podcasts from scratch for different purposes. This podcast is just my daily thoughts, and you're going to tune in. And we don't really want to hear your daily thoughts, Jerry. We truly appreciate you. But I'm just saying, this podcast, what are you guys planning to do with it in the long term? Like, I understand reaching out to the masses is one thing, but when you reach them, what do you do? What do you say?
Yeah. So medicine is so extensive, right?
True.
You could go your whole career without even understanding or even being exposed to a certain aspect of it.
Okay.
And as nurses, I'm still not exposed. I've been a nurse for over a decade now.
Over a decade.
Yeah. So I haven't even been exposed to a lot of it. And I think what's happening is they finally get exposed to these situations, and these nurses kind of freeze up because they don't know what to do.
Oh, wow.
Luckily for me, in my profession, I have the ability to serve as a resource for my fellow nurses in the hospital.
Wow.
So I was able to see that, these guys just need a little bit more education and exposure.
Okay.
And that makes them more comfortable in their environment. Okay. And that's what we're aspiring to do with this podcast, is to share stories, interactions, or expertise in areas where nurses may not be comfortable, to help them, understand a process better, so they can translate it and relate it back to their everyday job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm married, or legally married, to a nurse as well. So whenever I do
They're
ask
the best,
her,
man, they're the best.
I'm so healthcare workers. Thank you, and all the healthcare workers. But every time I try to ask her, what's the craziest thing you went through? Because she's like worked with the NICU as well as current cancer patients and such.
Wow.
So, but she doesn't have crazy stories to tell. She's like, plus HIPAA, and I'm like, okay, all right, I get it. But what are some of the most juiciest things that you can share? Kind of not, touching on the lines of HIPAA or any, secret information.
So I work in critical care.
Wow.
So that's every day. It's working with matters of life and death.
Wow. Okay.
So every day is crazy. It's just a different type of crazy.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's being able to sit and talk with just people.
Okay.
And connecting with individuals, on a more consistent basis. I don't think it's something that people find crazy, but for me, crazy is when, you're holding that patient's hand, and not to sound too dark, but
Sure.
they don't have a support system there, and they're end of life and no one's around them.
Yeah.
To me, that's crazy.
Okay.
Because that's the ultimate, this is over, man.
Yeah.
And
That's
like,
tough.
what's next? So
Wow.
that's always difficult.
You really became a Debbie Downer for the show right
Yeah.
now. I think I'll probably just cut this whole show. No, but I was thinking like gunshot wound or something, hand exploded in a firecracker kind of
That's a normal Monday.
That's a normal
Yeah,
Monday.
it's pretty much every day. So
Wow,
don't really
wow,
care.
that's hilarious. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't even. Yeah, I hope that you got stories that are rated R for off air because like now I'm intrigued. You know what I mean? So we got another would you rather question coming your way as well. Here we go. Would you rather be forced to dance all day, every day, until you get a perfect score on one of those dancing shows, or would it make sense for you to rather eat a whole bunch of mashed potatoes or one specific item, hot dog maybe, until you get like the perfect score on a cooking show of some sort?
Cooking.
Cooking show?
Yeah, I would never be able to get a perfect score on a dancing show.
Really?
I've got 7 left feet. It's not possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can
wow.
eat away and I can cook. So
Yeah.
my chances are better with that one.
I see. I think I would have to concur. I know we'd have to have a cook-off, like a eat-off.
Let's
or some
do
hot
it
dog
while
contest.
dancing.
Definitely. Next guest is coming in with the... No, we can't. No, we can't really. That would be ridiculous. But, okay, cool. So, off air, we were discussing this, prior to this show, about the most, I guess you could say the top 5 components to your life. And I try to ask this with any and every guest I have come on the show. And some of my friends as well. I get some wacky answers, but the answers I got from you were pretty simple, human, straightforward kind of family and friends.
Sure.
All right. You got service, you got growth, you got passion, and you got fun. All right. Out of those 5, what do you do to engage with, like, for example, the first component, which would be family, friends? Because during this COVID time, you just mentioned it right at the beginning of the conversation, how your circle gets smaller now because of the times that we're going through. So
Yeah.
how are you still able to engage with them aside from the Zoom call that is required by aunties?
Right. And those virtual meetups.
Yes, exactly.
Those are fun. But to answer your question, I mean, I think if you've been paying attention for the last, 15 years, the advent of technology has made keeping in touch with people easier.
Yes.
But that also means you see people less. For me, something that especially with COVID, something that I've done a little bit more with family and especially friends is, just letting them know, like, yo, I'm here. Just because I don't see you for once every 2 to 3 months, you can always call me. You can always, pick up the phone, and being available is very different than being present,
Wow.
and being available is always something that I think people should always make sure that the people in their circle are aware of. Like, this person's available for me.
Yeah.
They may not be present, but they're available. And that's something important to me and a lot of my circle too. So.
Wow, that's amazing. So being available is not really being present.
Yeah, you don't have to be present physically to be available.
True.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's what's up. Wow, look at that. Here we go. We got another one. This is an actual would you rather as well. We're flying by these pretty
Sure,
fast. I think
let's
we're
do
good
it.
on time as well. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. Would you rather be forced to listen to the same song, 10 songs on repeat, all right? Same 10 songs on repeat for the rest of your life, or forced to watch the same 5 movies on repeat for the rest of your life? The same 5 movies from now to whenever, or the same 10 songs from now to whenever.
That's tough.
Did I stump you?
Because I feel like I already do both of those.
Do you really? Okay, what are your 5 movies that you can think of that you're
Right off the top of my head?
Sure, top of
Something
your
I
head.
watch every Independence Day is Independence Day.
You watch
The
Independence Day
original one.
on Independence Day with
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And it's on repeat on like TNT all the time.
all the channel. Yeah.
I watch all 5 of the
Okay.
repeats.
All
Yeah.
right.
Jurassic Park,
Jurassic Park.
the original.
Okay.
The new ones are good too.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
really good.
Okay.
Probably The Green Mile with Tom Hanks.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
With that fellow who, what's his name? Who had passed away in
Michael
real life.
Clark Duncan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. Such a great actor.
amazing.
Amazing.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Holy smokes. What's up with you and watching movies with
Prisoners.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're a prisoner of these? Okay.
Yeah, I think it gets them to start thinking about their life, man.
Yes.
And that comes out in movies.
True.
But of course, that's a lot of screenplay. But and the 5th one, probably a horror film, man. I think the Michael Myers, the Halloween, the ones with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes,
those
original.
Cool.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
were
yeah.
great, man.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really. I'm like thinking, how were you able to quickly at the top of your head tell me 5 things that you watched in your favorite movies? Because I'm over here thinking I can't tell you about Breakfast yesterday. Yeah. And you're over here like, and that's big of me to say. Big of me, pun, breakfast, pun, all these puns left and right. But you were in school at University of Texas. So before you went into the nursing route, you were in film.
I tried to. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that.
So I tried doing film. It's always been a passion of mine.
All right.
But of course, the stability of the industry is not always there. And that's something that someone close to me made me understand and realize pretty early on.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, you can chase your passions, but why don't you get some stability? And I did. And the goal was to go to nursing school and then go back to film school.
Yeah.
And to finish.
Yeah.
It never happened.
What?
It never happened. So I became a nurse, moved to Houston, and now I'm sitting on this set talking to you.
I got some ideas for you because I think you can make a whole movie out of this whole next purpose.
You probably could.
Thing. I think this is something we could sitting on. You're sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah.
I'm saying we over here giving you ideas, but it's you. You're sitting on a gold mine.
Hey, I need a narrator, right?
Oh yeah, the next purpose. No, it's too game showy. I got the next purpose.
Yeah, you got to be like Morgan Freeman, bro.
Morgan Freeman, or it'll sound like a 60-year-old smoker as well. Those both work really, really well. So we'll definitely look into that.
That's where the podcast comes from, I guess.
Right?
Right. It's kind of up that alley.
Yeah.
So kind of teasing back into it a little bit, but. I mean, life's hard, man. You do what you can. You do the best you can.
True. So do you feel like you're getting a lot of your creativity out now through this podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm learning a lot about sets and lights again. And
okay.
Things are coming back, and I'm doing my own editing. So all the Final Cut, trips and tricks I have again. And there's a lot of learning and relearning, but it's fun. The process is fun.
I bet, yeah, definitely.
My viewership sucks, but
viewership. I know people who buy their viewership. By the way, I don't want to go down that route. I think you got to go organic, and I think you get your friends and family to kind of share. Absolutely. Get all the aunties. You know what you do? Zainab Khwaja was in the studio a week ago, sitting where you are right now, and talked about how her father was an addict of WhatsApp. So get yourself an auntie or uncle, your mother, your father, and just tell them WhatsApp. Send it on WhatsApp. They're gonna send it to the whole community. It's gonna spread like wildfire.
Yeah, you need to do it, man.
Yeah,
that's a great idea. I need to think about that.
There you go. We got more ideas coming your way as well. We're gonna take a very short break. When we come back, we're gonna have more with Wasim Momin, and we'll be able to make sure that all is well in the world of nonprofits and life. So sit tight. We'll be back with more Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
RonCarterCadillac.com. When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Amazing things for you.
59 और वेस्ट बेलफोर्ड पर है नुक्कड़ ढाबा, जहां के मशहूर जमाना बॉम्बे तंदूरी चिकन, पहाड़ी बोटी, चिकन चटपटा और बटर चिकन तो आप जानते ही होंगे। अगर आप बॉम्बे चाइनीज खाना पसंद करते हैं तो जरूर उनके चिकन लॉलीपॉप और चिकन चिली ट्राई करिएगा। और एनटीवी ह्यूस्टन का नाम लेने पर स्पेशल है $1.99 में कॉर्न सूप। सुबह 8 से लेकर रात के 2 बजे तक नुक्कड़ ढाबा आपकी खिदमत के लिए खुला होता है। For takeout and other inquiries, call 281-575-1178 at the corner of West Belfort and 59, Nukkad Dhaba.
बिजनेस का काम हो या फैमिली वेकेशन, कॉनकॉर्ड ट्रैवल है आपका रिलायबल ट्रैवल पार्टनर। फ्लाइट्स, होटल्स और ट्रैवल बुकिंग्स पे बेस्ट डील्स पाने के लिए कॉन्टैक्ट अस ऑन 713-219-1199 और email us at reservations@concordtravelhouston.com or visit us at 2245 Texas Drive, Suite 300, Sugarland, Texas 77479, concordtravelhouston.com.
Being diagnosed with a scary sounding disease can be frightening. Imagine what it's like for your child. There are over 7,000 rare diseases around the world affecting children. Join me, Jessica Hatch, along with leading experts to help break down medical lingo, explain why and what their little bodies are feeling. Real faces, real stories, and expert advice. And you can watch us on the biggest South Asian TV network in North America, NTV Houston.
Welcome back to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani here on NTV Houston. Very, 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 very special guest. That's episode 5 varies worth. Wasim Momin, UT alumni, RN, founder of the Next Purpose nonprofit organization, and of course the co-creator of the podcast, The Realist RN. Welcome back, Wasim.
Thank you.
That's what's up, man. So before the break, it was a lot of stuff going on from film school to nursing school to everything in between, and how you're able to get your creativity out into this new endeavor. And so, going back to that initial list that we were discussing of 5 things, from family, friends to fun and everything in between, I got to ask you, how, when you mentioned the nonprofit, is this where the service side of you is kind of going into? Like you said, service is one of your top 5 components of life.
Yeah.
Or is there service beyond what you're doing with the nonprofit, The Next Purpose?
I think it's all of them, really. It's personal growth, it's service, it's fun. It's also a part of my passions.
Wow.
Service is only a small part of it. I think sometimes we kind of lie to ourselves and say, we're so selfless, but service is a very selfish thing too.
Really?
You do things because it's rewarding.
Okay.
You find some sort of satisfaction out of it. If it wasn't fun, people wouldn't do it. There are individuals that, of course, do things in very difficult ways or have a hard time with it, but at the end of the day, it's self-rewarding, right? So I think it encompasses all 5 of them, really. I don't think it's just any one of them at any time. So, yeah.
It's very interesting. I don't know if many people would agree with that. I agree with that.
Probably wouldn't, yeah.
But it's like, I think there was some sort of study done a very long time ago. I say very long time ago so people don't have to fact check me or anything.
Or 5 varies.
But it was like study was done where they saw the brain waves of someone who received money or something, like $5 or $50 or something, and then another person who. So basically, they're trying to see the amount of happiness that somebody received when they receive something worth $5 compared to if I were to give you something for worth $5 or something, or just give you $5, you'd be like, oh, thanks, man. Whatever brainwaves that will create compared to me going out and spending $50 on myself. The happiness created in the world or created in your mind, which was showed on the brainwaves for the person who received the gift, was like 10 times more than the guy who spent $50 on himself.
Yeah.
So to give to others is not only rewarding because you feel like you gave someone something, but the amount of energy that you created for that person, it's like...
It's emotion, man. Emotion's such a strong thing.
So when was the first time you felt this? When was it, can I assume? I shouldn't assume, because to assume is to make it out of you and me, right?
Yeah.
And was it when you first went to Nepal and helped out, or was it prior to that where you felt the service is actually more rewarding to yourself?
Yeah, probably when I went the first time. I've kind of always been involved in service of some sort, but I think Nepal really opened my eyes to a different world that I hadn't been exposed to.
Oh, wow.
And before I went, Nepal to me was just, the tallest mountain in the world. I want to climb that one day.
Himalaya.
Yeah, Himalaya.
There you go.
You want to climb it, but that's all I knew. And a few weeks later, until after my trip was done, I was reflecting on pictures when I was back at home, and I was like, man, you know what? This is pretty cool. This brings me a lot of satisfaction. It brings me a lot of, self reward. And I realized it then. I said, I love doing this. I'm going to keep doing it. And people keep telling you, you're so selfless. You're so selfless. In my mind, I'm like maybe, but this is for me too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what's up. So, like I said, we're going to play a little Would You Rather here and there right before the break. We had a few, going in and out. Yeah. Here goes. Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste for the rest of your life? Ooh. Either you lose the shampoo or you lose the toothpaste. What would it be?
That's tough, man.
Is it?
I would say shampoo.
Really?
Because I think I could double down and put toothpaste in my hair and still kind of wash my hair with toothpaste. But I can't imagine putting shampoo in my mouth.
Interesting.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I can understand. I was just thinking because slowly as we're growing, all of our friends, I have a cousin named Johnny. He knows him as well.
I do. Yeah.
He went bald, I think, at the early age. So he would have probably said easily, yeah, shampoo, get out of here, forget about it. Yeah. So I just wonder, so I just asked that question because, us
do bald people use shampoo?
I don't know. I just felt like they just dive into a whole bathtub of baby lotion. I just figured that's not, I thought that's the replacement cost of it or something. But, okay, I'm glad to hear. All right, so that sounds all right. Let's see. All right, so I got to ask you, and it's funny because, when we were going through the questions, prior to, I didn't tell you the Would You Rathers. Yeah. I told you the regular questions, and then the typing of it, the word growth was the initial, one of the 5 components. And I'm like, what does growth mean to you? But I misspelled it, and I said, what does gross mean to you?
Yeah.
And I guess since you're a nurse, technically I can ask for both. So before we get to the real question, what does gross mean to a nurse? Because my girl's a nurse, and she doesn't find anything gross except for maybe cockroaches or simple things like that. But so what does a nurse such as yourself find gross?
Yeah, that's tough because, we can go from a patient's room that's blood's all over the walls and stuff and then go have lunch 5 minutes later.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a tough question. But I think across the board, what I've seen nurses feel like something is gross is when bugs or food particles start showing up that have probably been somewhere for months.
Oh, wow.
Or a cockroach comes out of a patient's belongings.
Whoa, okay.
Maggots in people's mouths.
Really?
Yeah, stuff like that.
How do you get them? I don't want to know. Actually, never mind. We're gonna have to put a disclaimer on this show.
You started it, man. You started it.
What a rabbit hole. There you go. But yeah, so back to the original question. What does growth really mean to you? Because like you mentioned it in this broadcast a couple of times.
Right.
So I'm wondering, what does that mean to you, and how do you encompass it in your life?
Sure. So I think it's changed for me ever since I've been a child. So I think every stage in life is different.
Right.
Right now, for me, being 32 years old, growth for me is finding out how I can effectively pursue my passions and still, continue to meet the responsibilities of daily life.
Wow.
I think being able to juggle both of those is very, very important. If you asked me when I was 16, what's growth to you? It was, I want to be able to dunk a basketball tomorrow.
Right.
I don't care about that anymore.
Yeah.
So it definitely changes. But right now, being able to juggle, handling your passions and making sure you're fulfilling your daily responsibilities to your family, to yourself, to your wife.
Wow. Yeah. Definitely. So what do you feel like are your passions today that other than the projects that you started?
Yeah.
Do you have any passions that you kind of still go forth and work on aside from the podcast and the nonprofit?
Yeah, I'm an avid hiker, man.
Are you really?
Yeah, I've done base camp of Mount Everest and
wow.
Of course, going to Nepal, you have the opportunity to do that, but
right.
Hiking is up there, man. Trying to visit a lot of the national parks around the country, so being able to do that, it's nice to have a wife that also enjoys doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
So, watching sports has always been something that I've done, not so much as lately, but. And of course, you probably noticed movies. I love watching films.
Right.
I watch them all day.
Yeah, I bet, man. I would love to, create a film one day with kind of not really an autobiography style, like growing up here in, Houston and the bubble, how it is and how it's impacted everyone.
Right.
But it would be cool to, somehow get the folks that actually were there and just get a bunch of makeup on us and make us look younger again. But I just don't know how younger I can look or how big I can. I know how big I can look because of this picture we have that we showed in the very beginning of the broadcast. Yeah. That's us about 15 years ago. This picture right here,
early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, 2005, and you had a good memory. You said Dallas, and that's funny because that's where I just moved back from.
Right.
And so tell me about this picture. So what was going on? Because we're just here for a sports tournament.
Right.
What used to be called Turkey Fest, or it may have just been some sort of league tournament of some sort.
Yeah.
So what was 2005? What seemed like, and what is 2020? What seemed like, and what has changed, and what has been the same?
I mean, at that time, it was all about playing ball, man.
Yeah.
Played so much basketball. Like, that's all I knew. High school, outside of that, in our community, it was just basketball. Basketball. And if it's 2005, if my memory serves me right, it was probably worried about school. And of course, you and I were spending a lot of time together, and we were around each other more often.
Right.
So, just being cool with friends, man, seeing people, having a good time, playing ball, just wasn't really thinking about everything. Definitely wasn't thinking about service.
Right.
Definitely wasn't thinking about more adult-like responsibilities, but who is? True. 2005, I was what, 16 years old?
About
17 years old?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just having fun, bro. That's it.
and just to clarify, I mean, him and so Wasim, all my cousins, friends, everyone back in those days used to play a lot of basketball. And I was the chunky monkey. I wasn't that active. So I would just go to every sporting event. And I would just wait for it to be over so we can go somewhere to eat together. I was always waiting for somewhere to eat, man. I was just ready to go.
That was the reward at the end of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that was my reward too. I'm like, man, I've been here for, how long is this game going on for? Who's the referee? Hurry it up. So I'll be like the Rudy T on the side, just walking around I usually would sleep over at a cousin's house, like Johnny or Rajas, my cousins. And the next day I would come with them, and obviously I wasn't prepared to wear any sporting, outfits or anything. So I'll just be wearing the suit or pant from the night before. Yeah. And then, so I don't know if it was you or if it was Rahel Ramzali that gave me the nickname Rudy T. And I was
that wasn't me.
Probably not. Maybe your brother. Your brother was
Possibly.
a big time basketball player as well.
Yeah.
So he was also, it was funny to see, but it was interesting because I could see where you got your sense of humor from, because he was also very, kiddish, childish kind of at times.
Absolutely.
And even though I grew up as an only child, your brother always constantly messed with me. And as we grew older and he became a doctor, and he would still check up here and there. We'd see each other in events and stuff like that. And so shout out to your brother as well, Wolfie, if you're watching this. Thanks for being a far away kind of friendly brother, big brother kind of type for myself. I don't know how it was with y'all, because siblings are always different, right?
Sibling rivalry, man.
Yeah?
But for the most part, he's been pretty good.
Yeah. There you go. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. We got some more Would You Rathers coming your way. Let's see what we got. Would you rather have a time machine, all right, to go back and forth from time, or a teleporter? And that's basically going from here to the couch or here to Nepal at any time. So you can either go back and forth in time, or you can teleport in this same time period from place to place.
Time machine.
Time machine. 100%. I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Yeah, time machine. Time is your most valuable tool. It's your biggest asset.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but every single person you talk to will always ask you for more time.
Wow.
Or to be able to know what they know now at a previous time.
True.
So if I can go back and know what I know now at 32, at the age of 11, game's over, bro.
But you see, people say that, but I gotta be honest, I had asked a similar question, but it was the similar outcome of another guest, where it was would you rather go back in time and know all that you know from now till when you're 5 years old? But you got to keep in mind, your mindset is different. Like you said, when you were 17 to when you were 11. So when you're 11, you find out, oh my God, I know all this 22 years of information, 20 years of information. What are you gonna do with that? You're gonna be like, that's where babies come from? What do you mean? So something silly,
Yeah, I mean that's true. If you look at it that way, absolutely. I thought I was gonna go to the NBA at 15 years old.
I'll be honest.
Sorely mistaken.
So did we all. Everybody in our circles of friends were like, man, Wasim's gonna make it. You see, he touched the rim. He touched the rim. Yeah. Oh my God, he touched the rim.
He dunked it. Oh my God.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So did you pursue basketball in college or not really?
No, I didn't, man. Kind of went off a different tangent.
Of course.
Yeah. So nursing was a far shot, man. If you told me at the age of 21 that or 20, you're gonna become a nurse in the next 2 years, I would have been crazy. I'm not doing that.
So how did you make that shift? Because I don't get how people make Film, acting, no. Or was it? I was thinking maybe you went into super like director mode or something where you're like, no, I'm gonna be an actor in this film or whatever is coming up. I need to start doing like a method acting. I gotta go to nursing school if I want to be this nurse. Yeah. So I was thinking, man, it seems hardcore. He went from film school to nursing just for a role, and he just stayed in nursing school. That's what I thought.
So what's funny is one of my preceptors or one of my nurses teaching asked me when I was in nursing school, like, what's your educational background? And I told him I was like, I used to be in film, or I was trying to pursue it at least. And they were like, well, they have jobs for guys to film the birthing of babies. And I was like, excuse me, what? I'm not doing that.
Right? Like,
that was her idea of how to get film and nursing and mesh them together. And I was like, not happening.
If you still think about doing that one day, just know you got a narrator right here. Here comes the head. Like, I'm just over here, like, you're just like zooming in, getting good shots. I'm over here like, and about 4 centimeters wide, and touchdown! Like a baby came out. Like,
a little boom mic action, right?
There you go. Yeah, we'll see if we can get NTV to sponsor it or something. NTV presents Babies Gone Wild, and babies are coming out all wild. Of course, their babies are gone wild. They're already wild.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. That's what's up, man. So let's see. So we talked about your passion. We talked about growth. We talked about so many things already. I can't even believe it. But would you rather? I got another one. Would you rather lose the ability to cry or cry every day for 20 minutes randomly?
No, lose the ability to cry.
Really?
Yeah, forget about it.
But then, what are you gonna get, the natural dopamine or something? Or I don't know the actual like terms for it. But don't you release a lot of like stuff when you're crying?
I don't know if you need to actually cry to release that stuff. Do you?
I just figured
I
like
think if you just feel like sadness without actually crying,
yeah,
I think it releases your
Does it?
Yeah.
I think you just go into like a deep like spiraling depression of some sort.
To cry it out or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe. I would have no idea.
So you wouldn't cry?
I don't cry enough to want to miss it.
All right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Same. I don't really, not really.
I mean, I feel like I should, but I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sad.
Are we becoming more and more cold-hearted? Is this a millennial thing that we're
doing?
doing?
Maybe it's a symptom of COVID.
Okay, so we'll be back after we get some COVID. But so you had a little run-in with COVID a few months ago?
Yeah, man. I did.
What happened?
Disastrous. So I probably got it from work because we're dealing with that all the time.
Oh, you?
Like every day. And it's coming back up.
So you survived COVID?
I did. I was hospitalized for 5 days.
You were hospital 5 days? Mm-hmm. What about the wife? What was happening in that situation?
She was losing it because she had it too.
She had it too?
But she was, fortunate enough she was able to deal with it at home. And her symptoms were a lot less severe than mine. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. The only thing worse than actually dealing with COVID is being a family member at home who can't even keep in touch with that person in the hospital because the hospital's cut down on all visitors.
Oh, man, wow.
So I was just like, man, I know how I'm doing. I feel horrible for everyone on the outside.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's tough.
For sure. I'm glad you made it through.
Yeah, thank you.
Strong.
I would have never made it on this show.
Right? We would have to I don't even know. I had no idea.
When I was in that hospital bed, I was thinking about late night vibes.
Hopefully you guys got that. Hopefully you get a little sound bite of that. It's gonna be. We'll put some sad music around, beautiful sad music. We'll get the lady from the SPCA commercials in the
Sponsor Wasim's Recovery for $5 a month.
Wonderful. That actually works out really well. Sponsored by Late Night Vibes. So we'll stick with that vibe. Let's see. Last real question, and then we'll pretty much call it a night. I recall growing up again, seeing you play basketball and doing all this. What is something you still do for fun, or do you still play basketball? Like, do you still?
Oh no.
No?
No.
Really? I thought that your basketball kind of like, I just figured people who are just athletically, who've done their athleticism throughout their life, could have probably been stronger. Is that? I thought that would be the reason why you defeated COVID as quickly as you did. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm active.
Okay.
I don't play ball though, because I think it messed up my joints. I played so much of it, man. Like,
really?
Yeah, my ankles, my knees, they've taken a beating over the years. So I don't play as much, and a lot of my friends were starting to go down with injuries.
Oh no!
In the last couple of years, and I was like, nope, I'm not tearing an ACL.
Forget about it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So I play things like softball,
or
I'll go hiking.
So
all right. Staying active, but not in a more like in an aggressive manner, I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'll leave that for the younger ones, man.
Yeah. Well, are we old now? When you said that, now I feel like I just got a gray hair pop up. I just felt it somewhere.
Well, they say everything turns downhill after 30.
Really?
And I laugh it off. I said, ha!
Oh, God.
Because I've been dealing with that since I was 22.
Wow. So. All right. Wow. That's crazy stuff. I can't even imagine, man. We got one last question. I know you got a crazy schedule. You got to take care of the Nepalese kids and so on. Yeah. But would you rather be reincarnated as a sea creature or an airborne creature?
Ooh.
Of the sea or of the air?
Oh, man. That's tough. Yeah. I would say the sea.
The sea. Okay. Any particular animal?
I'm not 100% sold on that answer.
Okay.
But I think a lot of the ocean's undiscovered.
Yes.
And I'd like to be able to, or if I had the ability, to swim down to like the depths of the ocean, the dark side.
Yeah.
And to see what's up.
Wow.
I think as an airborne creature, you can only go up to one stratosphere or whatever it is.
And we're in Texas, so we have a lot of people, gun happy wanting to go duck hunting from the Nintendo days,
Right.
So,
we got a lot of fishermen too, though.
Yeah. Ooh, that's true. But they can't go that deep, right?
That's true.
They're like, oh man.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Well, see, then I use my time machine, and then I would say, now I know that there's fishermen.
A time machine wielding sea creature.
Yeah.
This is next level right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Wild.
You guys are hearing it. So before we wrap up, because this time just kind of flew by faster, you got the best of me. But before we wrap up, is there anything you want to share with our lovely audience today? And if you do, you got a special little place in the heart of LNB to discuss it.
So no, if you're interested in joining our cause in Nepal, we've been going just about every single year. Of course, with the advent of COVID and everything that's kind of going on in our current environment, things have stopped. But if you're interested, you can visit us at www.thenextpurpose.org. There's a lot of information on there. The website's still under construction. There's a lot of things going on. But you can leave your name, your information, and get back to us. Whether you can come to Nepal or not doesn't really matter. There's a lot of things that we do here locally and domestically as well. So you can volunteer your time, you can volunteer your wallet. You can also volunteer your services and knowledge. So you can find us there. Definitely find us there.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Thank you so much for coming through.
Absolutely,
and,
man. Thank you.
For everybody here on Late Night Vibes, we want to thank everybody pre and post production. And until next time, H-Town, till I stay down. We'll be back next week. Cheers.